What's going on, all my loyal Dragonites out in the Dragon Den? King of Dragons 5000 is back with another action figure review. Today we'll be taking a look at the Mezco 1/12 Collective DC Comics Mr. Freeze. But before we have a look at Mr. Freeze, let's take a look at today's sponsor. With Father's Day just around the corner, why not pick up your dad a gift from Jewel Gallery? Shopping for dad is never easy, however Jewel Gallery has you covered. Rings, watches, necklaces, and other jewelry, Jewel Gallery is your one-stop shop for Father's Day. So come in and find your perfect Father's Day gift at Jewel Gallery, where it's all about the ring. Getting Mr. Freeze out of his cool tin, we are greeted with a very nice figure, but before we take a look at his details, let's run through his accessories. Mr. Freeze does come with two very impressive well-detailed head sculpts, as well as several sets of hands for grasping weapons and style posing. He does come with his freeze blaster, his freeze gun, a mask, and several ice effects that you can put on other figures. And of course he does come with the Mezco 1/12 Collective display stage and the flight arm. A good set of accessories for Mr. Freeze, so with all that out of the way, let's finally take a look at the DC Comics Mr. Freeze. Mezco has done a really great job capturing the look of Mr. Freeze. The suit is very impressive both in terms of plastic aspects and its soft goods material. And it does have a light up feature in case you guys are into that. Taking a look at the figure's head, Mr. Freeze does have a very impressive head sculpt. They did a great job adding wrinkles and a wash to this figure that bring out all those really nice details. And of course, being Mr. Freeze, he does have his red goggles. Moving on to his armor, Mezco spared no expense when designing the armor of this figure. It is done in a very nice metallic slate color, which does bring out the detail really nicely. Add to it, we get a lot of panel lines, both with silver and gunmetal attachments. It looks very good. And we do have this really big apparatus on his back, which does house all the lights and the batteries. A nice little feature is the frost is actually flocked on this figure. His shoulder pads are nicely done with that metallic slate and some blue highlights. His suit is designed very well. We do have some grays, some dark grays, some padded grays, as well as some blue highlights. Then we do have some really thick gloves done in that slate color with some added details to them. The fabric that they went with Mr. Freeze is very nice, however it is rather thick. It is a rather heavy pleather material, and it does have some quilted padding which also makes it even thicker. Continuing on to his armor, he does have an armored belt on. It's done in that same metallic slate which looks amazing here on Mr. Freeze, and it does have some gunmetal and some grays on it. Moving on to the rest of his costume, it continues that same motif with the grays, the darker grays, the blue accents, and the padded look. Once again, it looks impressive, but it does hinder a lot of mobility on this figure. And finally, we take a look at his big, heavy boots, which look impressive, done in that same metallic slate. We have some silver accents, some silver rivets, and it looks very good with some added detail at the bottom of his foot. So overall, I'm blown away just by the amount of detail both in the armor and the fabric of this costume. Mr. Freeze is looking rather nice, but how does he stack up to other figures? Well, let's actually get him compared to our usual suspects. Here we have Mr. Freeze posed next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and a DC Multiverse Superman. Mattel's WWE Elite Series and Mezco's 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. The Lightning Collection White Ranger and the Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. So Mr. Freeze is looking rather nice compared to other figures you may have in your collection. With the comparisons out of the way, let's actually move on to his articulation. Mr. Freeze has a ball joint in the head and in the neck, butterfly jointed shoulders, arms go out to the side and would do a full 360, bicep swivel and double hinged elbows, ball hinges in his wrist, he has a ball joint in his waist, legs do move forward, go back, out to the side, and they do have a thigh swivel. He is double jointed in the knee, we have a swivel in the boot, and a ball jointed ankle. The articulation is there on Mr. Freeze, but Mezco did a mistake by making his outfit so bulky and restrictive. So with everything said and done, let's have a final look at the Mezco Mr. Freeze. The overall aesthetic of Mr. Freeze is captured beautifully here on the Mezco 1/12 Collective figure. Though not for everybody, this Mr. Freeze does have a light up feature both in his torso and in his gun. Mezco did supply the batteries, but honestly it's not a feature I'm really looking forward to. I think Mezco did a really good job capturing the look and feel of the character perfectly. The blue skin tone is perfect here, and the detailing on his head is phenomenal. Add to it all the components on his armor along with some of that flocking for the frost just makes this look very impressive. And one thing I absolutely love about this Mr. Freeze is his color scheme. I love the grays, how they blend well with his armor. However, I do have to talk about the elephant in the room being his jumpsuit. The padded parts and the pleather do make this really restrictive for this figure. Despite having the same articulation as your standard Mezco figure, both the armor and the jumpsuit make this rather difficult posing. Though it is possible getting him in two-handed poses, it is really difficult making sure he's holding his weapons properly. But despite his armor and jumpsuit being restrictive, I think this is still a really good figure to own. Mezco has done a really good job capturing the spirit of Mr. Freeze, and if you're a fan of the character, this is one figure that you must have in your collection. Before we wrap up this video, I want to take a moment to thank the Jewel Gallery for once again sponsoring this video. And as always, don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, and check out all my other action figure reviews. Check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, videos, and other goodies, and ring that bell so you never miss another video. And as always, my loyal Dragonites coming from the Dragon Den, I'm King of Dragons 5000, take care, be safe, and I'll see you next time.